House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has opened the battle over the debt ceiling, supporting his caucus members who want massive spending cuts to be part of any vote paying for the government's past bills, past obligations. Critics say that was one of the concessions that McCarthy made to win the Speaker's job. The White House says it will not compromise, and a showdown looms, most likely coming to a head this summer. Joining me now is Jason Furman, professor of economic policy at the Harvard Kennedy School and a former chairman of President Obama's Council of Economic Advisors. So, Jason, let's talk about the debt ceiling, what it is. You know, Janet Yellen last Friday sent a letter warning Congress that this coming Thursday, tomorrow, was the limit, or the initial hitting the debt limit on government spending where the bills have to be paid, but that she could use extraordinary measures. In other words, moving money around, reinvesting money, postponing some payments, so that it would really hit sometime in June or even later, possibly. Give us your assessment of when this crisis hits and why.
Yeah, so this week is really just the starting gun of the process. These are called extraordinary measures. They've been done regularly since the 1980s. They're mildly harmful. I wish we didn't have to do them, but they're not really that serious. So this is really just a way to remind us that this conversation needs to start. It needs to start really quickly, and it basically needs Congress to do their job and to raise the debt limit.
And right now, the two sides could not be further apart, because the House Republicans, the new House Republicans, led by Kevin McCarthy, but you know that certain people are empowered because they helped put him in with a very thin margin. They're saying that they want massive spending cuts. And this is a bill to pay for things that have already been obligated, but they want to attach it to this must-pass bill. And without the bill passing, at some point this summer, the U.S. government, for the first time in history, would default. What would be the effects of that?
Yeah, that would be economically catastrophic. We've had government shutdowns before. That is only a small portion of the government stopping. This would be effectively a default. It could raise our borrowing costs for decades to come, which would ironically actually raise our government spending and raise our debt. You know, you said the two sides couldn't be further apart. It's not really two sides here. This is just a simple thing that Congress needs to do. They've done it over and over again. Democrats did it for President Trump. So it's really the House Republicans that need to get their act together, pass this, and then they can have a negotiation on spending bills. There are going to be spending bills, but that's just a completely separate process from just doing your job, raising the debt limit.
Well, they see that they've got some leverage now. You were in the Obama administration in a key position, of course, the last time that the U.S. came dangerously close to defaulting. And after a tense face-off with Speaker John Boehner, do you fear that the current Republican leadership would take this a step further? Plus, this costs money. This is real money because interest costs, borrowing costs go up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this could end up making the debt worse if the Republicans play this brinkmanship. Yeah, I was intimately involved in 2011. In some ways, the situation was more auspicious then. Both sides were willing to put everything on the table. For a while, there were a good set of discussions before they broke down in acrimony. But, you know, ultimately, I think that entire process was counterproductive. I think we've all learned a lesson. This is a Republican caucus that's going to have a much, much harder time getting its act together, negotiating with it. I think basically you need Kevin McCarthy to allow Democrats plus enough Republicans to have this pass the House. I think that's the only real formula that's workable here. The sooner they get to it, the better.
And when we say, Jason, that it costs money, it cost billions of dollars last time, and it would cost even more. And the whole global economy could crash.
Absolutely.
Jason Furman, thank you very much.